everyone, welcome to my channel, Lila at Lila Loves to Cook, which is a damn lie because I don't love to cook. I just like making homemade meals for my family. I know I'm always saying I'm going to post a video. My equipment's on its way, but tonight I'm making coquito, so I figured why not make a video. I'm recording this with my cell phone, so it's not going to be perfect. I can't find my lighting. It's in the garage, so we're going to deal with yellow lighting, greasy face. We're going to keep it hood. We're going to keep it all real here because that's what we're about. I'm going to make coquito, which is a Puerto Rican traditional holiday drink. In Puerto Rico, we pretty much, right after Halloween, we're celebrating the holidays through the first week of January, sometimes even beyond that. And we have coquito, which is a traditional Puerto Rican drink. It's our version of eggnog. Some people make it with eggs. I don't. I have, but I don't. So today I'm going to show you how I make the coquito because I'm already making, so I figured why not make a video. When you watch it, I hope you learn from it. I hope you make it for your family. What I don't hope you do is say, oh my goodness, that's not how you make it. You're right, that's not how I make it. This is how I make it. So if you want to learn, keep watching. Okay, so let's get started and talk about what we're going to need to make our coquito. This is pretty much my motto here, so take note if you're coming here for low-fat recipes. I love you girls, I love you guys, but that's more than likely not what you're going to find here. You're going to find stuff that I like, that my family likes. And sometimes it's healthy and sometimes it's not. But the best part of being in the kitchen is making memories, laughing, eating around the table, taking it back to basics. So I hope that that's one of the things that you learn from my family, if you're not doing it already, is, you know, sometimes we just got to stop and smell the roses, smell the chicken, smell the grease, whatever it is you cook with, and enjoy what, you know, what you have to discuss with your family at the table that day, because we don't get those moments. So let's go ahead and get started and talk about what we need. First thing we need is the liquor that's going to go in there. If you want to make yours virgin, that's okay. You don't have to add this. But obviously, I like liquor. Most people, I don't want to say most people do, but a lot of people do. So if you want this as an alcoholic drink, you can add Bacardi. Basically, you want to add white rum. Some people will make this with Hennessy. That's okay too. So whatever you want to add to your liking, I would not put tequila in this. I would stick to rum or potentially Hennessy if that's what you like. I know some people make it with that. As far as how much you want to add. Now, I typically, if I'm going to make this for a family or for a party, I will make it with a half a cup of rum per serving. And I'll show you what the serving is going to be in a minute. But what I usually do is I like a little bit stronger. Some people do not. Sometimes the grandparents are coming over and you don't want the rum to overtake the taste of the coquito for people that don't necessarily like that taste. So I'll put a half a cup of rum in. This is a little bit more than a half, but and then I'll leave the Bacardi on the table. And then anybody that wants to add some in, they can. But for my family, or should I say for my husband and I usually use about 3/4 of a cup. So not a full cup, but about 3/4 of a cup. And again, I use Bacardi, but you can use any white rum or Hennessy. Then you want to use a 15-ounce can of cream of coconut. Any brand is fine. I do not like it with coconut milk. I like cream of coconut. Some people use both. So depending on what you like, I use cream of coconut. It's totally up to you. And it doesn't really matter the brand. You can usually find this. I've actually seen it even at Binny's because I use this to make pina coladas. So you can find it at your local grocery store. Sometimes it's in the liquor aisle. Sometimes it's where the Spanish section is. So it just depends. All right. And then we're going to use a can of sweetened condensed milk, 14 ounces. Any brand is fine. You can use the Walmart brand. It doesn't matter. But I use sweetened condensed milk, so a whole can. And then a can of evaporated milk. And it's going to be 12-ounce can. Make sure that you shake this really well before you put it in. A lot of times what happens is the milk tends to separate from the actual like liquid part. And it becomes a little messy. So make sure that you shake it really, really well. All right. Next is ground cloves. And for the ground cloves, you need 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground cloves. Now, ground cloves, if you make your ham, like let's say you make your holiday ham, you make it with the little clove sticks, you're wasting your time, honey. It takes more time to put each of those in. Instead of doing that, use ground cloves. So keep it in your kitchen so you can use it for your ham. Add it right into your glaze, and there you go. But for this dish, or should I say for this drink, you're going to use 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, and you can find this right at Walmart or your Jewel, Osco, whatever your local grocery store is, in the spice section. You're going to use 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Let me let that focus here. Any ground cinnamon is perfectly fine. And then you're going to use a teaspoon of vanilla, pure vanilla. Spend a couple extra dollars. Do not get that imitation vanilla crap. Please don't do that. You don't want to do that. It just doesn't taste the same, especially if you're baking. Just use real vanilla, pure vanilla extract. You're going to use a teaspoon. And then I always add 1/2 cup of water, just tap water. Doesn't have to be cold or hot. Some people don't add this. I do. Reason being is I've had coquito that's a little bit too thick, and I like it medium consistency. I don't like it watery. I don't like it thick. I like it right in the middle. So I just add 1/2 cup of water. And then lastly, one of the most important things is you want to make sure to store this in a glass bottle. Very important. Reason being is if you store it in plastic, what tends to happen, depending on what ingredients you've used, but this has actually happened to me, for some reason the fat content will separate from the liquid, and when you go to pour it, you'll get a chunk. You'll get it still tastes good. Excuse me. But you'll get this like weird chunk consistency, and you don't want that. So when you make your coquito, you're going to store it in a glass bottle. I bought this at IKEA for like $3, but you can buy them on Amazon. I've seen some at the dollar store, smaller. Or what you can do too is you can save your liquor bottles, your glass liquor bottles, and store them in there. That's okay too. And then I just use this funnel so that I don't make a mess. And then lastly, you need a blender. Any blender's fine. This doesn't have anything that's really hard to blend, so you don't have to worry about needing some high-tech blender. A $10 blender from Walmart is just fine. Just make sure that you have a blender that works. That's all. So what you're gonna do is, this is one of the most easiest things. You're gonna dump everything in there, turn on your blender, leave it on for 2 or 3 minutes while it actually just comes all together. And then when you're done, you stick it in your glass bottle and you serve it cold over ice. The most important thing you want to do though is this right here, your cream of coconut. I would strongly suggest that you add this first. So what happens is the fat content of the coconut is sitting right at the top. And when you go to pour this, it takes it a minute to come down. See? You kind of got to squeeze the can. I'm doing this with one hand. And I usually get it out by now, but because I'm recording, hold on, I'll be right back. What happens is you see that thick part? That's sitting at the top. And right under that is this liquefied part. And if you put that in after you have other stuff in there or your other ingredients in there, it tends to splash because the top part is really thick. When you take your coconut out, it looks like this. It has like a like off-white, sometimes almost grayish consistency. You can't really see under this lighting. It is not old. That's the way it looks. So don't be alarmed. Now that you have the one ingredient that takes the longest, then you could just dump everything else in. And what I like to do is I like to make a lot of it when we're having a party and just make it all ahead of time, so that way I have them nice and cold in the refrigerator because when you are serving coquito at your party or your get-together, your family get-together, trust and believe it will be gone. People will go for multiple cups. And the sad part is that it is so good, sweet. It's probably got 1,000 calories in there. But it's Christmas time, so calories don't count, remember? It'll be gone. So make sure you make yourself an extra bottle for your family. So once everybody's gone, you're gonna need something to deal with the headache that you just dealt with. All right, so let's finish adding everything in here. We're almost done. Look how easy. This is so easy. It doesn't take a lot. The ingredients are cheap, especially like right now you can get Bacardi in the huge bottle for like $19. So, all right. Now we're just gonna put our lid in there. All right, let me plug this in because again, I'm not prepared. Okay, we're gonna turn this on. And all I do is I put it under blend. So we're just gonna put it on high. And we'll be right back. Show you what the consistency looks like. It's got a little bit of a thickness to it. And again, I just put the funnel so I don't make a mess. And these bottles, like I said, you can find them anywhere now. They used to be a little hard to find, but if you have an old wine bottle, I would just suggest you wash it really well so you don't get the taste of the wine in the actual coquito. You can add Nutella to this. You can add pistachio paste to make it pistachio flavor. A lot of people make flavored coquitos. They're delicious. This is just our standard coconut flavored coquito. But I know that people, they even make frappuccinos with this. So you can stick it in your blender over ice and make like a frappuccino style coquito. That's really good too, obviously. All right. I'll be right back. And we're back. Our coquito's done. Look how beautiful. You just want to store this in the refrigerator. It keeps for, I would say, about a week. It never lasts in our house a week. This will probably, today's Friday, it'll probably be done by, tomorrow night. My husband usually has quite a few glasses of this. And like I said, you serve it over ice. Sometimes when I have guests over, I put a cinnamon stick in it. It just depends. I'm a little bougie like that. But other than that, enjoy. Cheers. Stay safe. And don't forget to smile. It looks good on you. Bye, guys.